I'm live. A little bit of ice mixing ASMR. The blood orange and lemonade, I was just mixing it up. That is nice. Okay, I'm out of focus and I don't know why. I didn't change any settings since last night, so why would you do that? So I've got to launch this app. Hello, Megaleech, Musical Aviator, Justin and Loogie. This is going to take a minute. Right. Got the whole thing. Where's the camera control? Focus. That's worse, isn't it? Fuck, this application sucks balls. Auto. Okay. That's at least got to do that. Now, if I switch off auto. Okay. Fucking stupid application does not work very well. But now we seem to be in focus. And we're good. Good to go. Good to go. Adele. Ooh, you're doing D&D Twitch. Or finished? All the fields want more D&D story. Well, if you got Netflix, maybe we can do something appropriate, because we're going to try out Netflix Party tonight, if everyone's on the board with that. Because I gave it a little test run this afternoon, and I got it to work, and it's not that difficult. And I worked out how to balance the live stream with the Netflix. Although, God, what's the friggin' bet? I need the cable. I reckon I need the cable, actually. Maybe I should get that now before getting messed about later. Kind of looks like the camera makes it look like tomato juice or something. I'm always fascinated with how the webcam makes things look different to how they look in real life. Hello. Annette. Oh, you cancelled Netflix. Well, I'm still going to chat in the live stream. Yeah, see, I don't know how well this will work, because obviously people come in and out of the chat all the time. You're watching Stan more. Stan is one I've never had. There are actually a couple of things on it I want to watch, but it's never been a strong enough desire to actually sign up for yet another subscription service. Also, I don't have Disney Plus. The Mandalorian really tempted me to get Disney Plus, but I haven't done it yet. We shall see what the future brings, I guess. So, Annette stands. Megaleech, put the link in the crotch bar. I'm not sure what you mean by the crotch bar. And if I put the link anywhere but the chat, it's not clickable. Oh, you keep rotating them. Yeah, I've got Prime at the moment because there were actually probably when I got Prime when Star Trek Discovery started. There were also several other things I really wanted to watch on Prime, but Star Trek Disco was the tipping point. Besides that, it was American Gods and Good Omens were on Prime. The Boys. What else did I watch that I liked? Carnival Row, I think it was called. It was a sort of fantasy one that had Cara Delevingne and what's his name, who was Legolas. Fletcher, you're a Prime fan. All right. That's it, Megaleech. The Expanse. The Expanse is fucking great. So yeah, there's some good comedy specials on Prime as well. Actually, I've watched quite a few things. There's a few things. I watched a couple of episodes of the Purge TV series, and I'll say it's not terrible. Well, that's very up. The acting levels are very uneven because it's following a couple different storylines. I've watched, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes of it. So it's following a couple different groups, and the acting between the groups a bit of uneven quality, quite honestly. Yes, Fletcher. Netflix wouldn't buy it. Prime did, and I believe they're shooting another season, aren't they? Like, it got canned after 2 seasons, and I think it was Netflix picked it up for a 3rd season, but then let it go, and then Prime picked it up for a 4th season, something like that. It's had a very rocky life. But it is very good. All those, oh god, the one thing not the one thing, I like virtually everything about The Expanse, but a thing I particularly appreciated with the Belters who tried to colonize that planet that was through the ring. And they started dying of weird infections that they didn't know what the cause was, which makes sense because you're on an alien fucking planet. Humans have contracted fatal diseases that they have no immunity to just by traveling between continents. The idea that you could get on another planet and there wouldn't be some sort of virus or bacteria that just fucking killed you is ridiculous. It always bugs me when in a sci-fi movie, when people are visiting a completely new planet and they do some sort of test and they go, the atmosphere is breathable. Oh, phew, take off. What? Why the fuck are you taking off your helmets? The air filtration systems. The air on Earth is breathable, but at various places there is also stuff floating around in it that will fucking kill you. And it always bugs me so much, because the sci-fi movies where scientists are really cavalier on foreign planets, and it's just like, the fuck, you would not do that. The chances of you just randomly contracting a fatal infection are so high. And indigenous life forms being very hostile to you is a real, and it just bugs the shit out of me. Fletcher saying Goliath is excellent. I feel like I've heard of that, but I don't know it. Good evening to you, Stella. Well, see, the only is obviously I don't think a planet with nowhere would necessarily be free of infectious things to humans, but of course you would keep on your fucking spacesuit if you were on a planet with no air. Yeah, it's just a little thing, but it really fucking bugs me across the board in sci-fi films. People just go, oh, the atmosphere is breathable, we're all good. Like, no, fuck no. There are going to be God knows what pathogens that would be very hostile to human life. It's just common sense, and no one ever acts sensibly. It's often used as a plot device, like, ooh, they contracted, they inhaled a bad thing, blah, blah, blah. But no one acts like it's a risk when they go down there, which is ridiculous. Yes, and no, you see, he says the damn reason we don't get invaded by aliens. fucking H.G. Wells used that as the plot device well over 100 years ago in the War of the Worlds. Martians invade Earth, but they have no resistance to our cold germs, and the common cold kills them. You know, that he extrapolated that, and that would have been based on, oh, you notice how when people travel around the world, they get exposed to diseases that they never had before and it kills them. That would happen definitely if an alien species came here. Justin, should Trump supporters be given the Darwin Awards? There are a lot of reports about people showing up in emergency wards for ingestion of bleach. Oh, that's it, Fletcher. I knew I'd seen the bloody picture for it. It's Billy Bob Thornton is in Goliath. Okay. I'm not watching a lot of TV at the moment because I'm doing this a lot. This is taking up a lot of my time. So, yeah. What am I doing? Oh, Stella, you're saying Serenity made a point to say there were no pathogens. Yeah. But no one ever does. Like, it's often a plot device, like, oh no, something hostile on this alien world killed them. But no one ever acts worried that something hostile is going to kill them. And it annoys the shit out of me. Stella, have they taken bacteria swabs from the exterior of the ISS? Possibly. That sounds like something you'd want to do, actually. Let's do a search. Bacteria swabs ISS. What does it say? Living bacteria have been found on the outside of the International Space Station, a Russian cosmonaut told state news agency TASS this week. The bacteria were not on the module when it originally launched into orbit. There you go. NASA also says the ISS is covered in bacteria. There you go. Space bacteria. Yes, music are better. The tardigrades, they don't need air. They're just going everywhere. Oh, gosh, Megalich. You got the coronavirus swab. Bet she was super happy about that. Bet she said, that was not unpleasant at all. I'll do it 5 times a day. Ugh. Not looking forward to it. I know at some point it's going to happen. I'm going to get like a fucking coronavirus swab. Not looking forward to it. Maybe they did get a pinprick blood test happening at some point to see if you've got the antibodies. I don't know. Yes, Megaleech, I definitely want a description of what the coronavirus swab was like. Very gross. Stella, yes, I think it was from the bacteria on the space station was from ejected astronaut poo. So they upgraded the toilets on the ISS with a bacteria-killing element to lessen the chance of some terrible disease growing on the outside of the ISS. That's interesting, Flotchy. Said Potts Point was crowded with people for Anzac Day. I didn't know. I still think it was hilarious. The Eastern Suburbs Councils opened the various beaches and go, for exercise only. You have to be like jogging or swimming or surfing. It's got to be exercise. And then they closed the beaches the same days because it just filled up with people who are just going, I'm just going to go and lie on the beach and do a bit. It's like, yes, that's in surprising news. It turns out people are assholes. So not at all surprised by that. It's just a thing. All right. So who is actually up for the idea of a Netflix watch party? That would involve anyone. I get a link, and you click on that, and then we're in a watch party. So we're all watching the same thing, and we can communicate in text chat while we watch. And I'm going to keep this live stream running, so I'll still be talking. I don't think you hear me talk on the live stream. Well, see, that's the second one. What would we watch? Yes. It could also be a TV show. It doesn't have to be a movie. Well, look, okay, I'm going to launch Netflix and we decide on what to watch. Netflix. Yes, it's me watching Netflix. Second series of that Ricky Gervais series, Afterlife. Oh, the really weird looking animation, which I think is from the people who did Steven Universe. It's called The Midnight Gospel. Looks trippy as balls. Tiger King. I still haven't watched Tiger King. Lugi, you have, for this to work, you have to have, for you to watch it, you have to have a Netflix subscription. But I'll still be talking in the chat. Catherine, when you go for a run, you run like hell so the police don't think you're loitering. There you go. Well, I guess that's a plus if you've gotten faster in your running for this. So what else do they have? Afterlife, Tiger King. It was a Chris Hemsworth movie called Extraction. Too Hot to Handle, which is apparently some weird as fuck, I think it's a reality show that's very focused on sex. What do you think? Trending now. What's trending? Star Trek, Blade Runner. Nailed it. Extraction. Aquaman. What was it? Well, oh, Netflix originals. You've already mentioned Tiger King. Last Kingdom. Ooh, there's new Ghost in the Shell. There you go. What do they have in terms of movies, documentaries, Netflix originals? Ooh, what's the top 10 in Australia today? The Chris Hemsworth movie Extraction, Too Hot to Handle, a sports thing called The Last Dance, Afterlife, an animation called The Willoughbys, The Outer Banks, that's a series, Tiger King, Ozark, Despicable Me, and Despicable Me 2. There you go. What movies? I don't know if we want to watch a movie. Quick look. There's comedies. Blade Runner, Extract. Oh, The Willoughbys is a movie. Okay. They've got a few Studio Ghibli ones. Spirited Away. Award-winning films. Princess Mononoke, My Neighbor Totoro. Totoro is probably my favorite Studio Ghibli film. New releases. Code 8. That's a science fiction film that's meant to be kind of good. Dystopian science fiction. One with Marky Mark. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure this will work. How exactly it works is you basically just follow a link I get, and then we're all watching Netflix, the same thing at the same time on our computers, and we can have chat, commentary. Not sure. Oh yeah, there's a Chrome. Okay, so everyone joining it has to a Chrome extension. Hey Abigail, I'm thinking of trying out uh, what do you call it? Netflix Party. And so you need two things if you're going to take part. You need to have a Netflix subscription, and you need to install the Netflix Party extension for Chrome, and then watch it on a Chrome browser. I've been gross and scratching my back with the back of my spoon. Oh, not the bit I put in my drink, just this end. I had an itch I couldn't reach right down the middle of my back. You always get them there. I don't know what that is. Annette, you watch Ponyo with your daughter today. I mean, I was about to say lots of weird ones. They're all weird ones, but Ponyo's interesting because it really brings in some of those things about elementals, water spirits. That is quite a popular belief still today in some parts of Japan. The animistic spirituality. Good evening, Safa. Yes. Yeah, I'm just in two minds as to how well this is going to work with people who don't have Netflix. Safa, I have headphones, so and we tested this today. The sound from Netflix doesn't come into the stream. Yes, I agree, Annette. A lot of it is so weird, makes not much sense to Westerners. I remember explaining to my kids, because it's been out for quite a while, they were much younger when we watched it first, as I explained to them, a lot of people in Japan literally believe this sort of stuff. They believe in these supernatural creatures, and they believe in these elemental spirits that manifest in different ways. So this is not just fantasy. So you don't have to have headphones. You just have, if you have speakers on your computer. I just have to have headphones to keep my stream running and talk to people. And I guess, I could do it like a commentary track for anyone who watches it later on YouTube, but also just keeping up talk with anyone who's in the chat who's not watching the show. Yeah, I actually honestly really don't know how this is going to work, how well this is going to work. So, oh yes, Ponyo, popular on Netflix from time to time. A couple of Monty Python movies. There are, of course, only well, they seem to have all the Ghibli ones, even the weird one, Pompoko. Even the weird, they're all weird. They're all weird. Beetlejuice, Spider-Man, Spider-Man Homecoming, Once Upon a Time in London. Looks interesting. Okja, is that the weird one about the art gallery? Like a horror story about art galleries? I think I watched it. I guess the big question is would anyone be super disappointed if we don't do a Netflix party? Safa, they do get taught about World War II in Japan. They just get taught that it was a noble, patriotic enterprise by the Japanese Imperial Army. Still here. Yeah, I'm worried about my stream dying if I try and stream two things at once as well. Yes, Abigail, that's I worked out today how to do it. I can listen. Megalit, you're looking forward to it, but you're easy. That's what I hear. That is what I hear. That you're easy. Hey, sexual innuendo. Um, so, okay. So if we're going to do it, what should we do? Should we watch a TV show or a movie? Something new? Should we watch a classic? Should we watch a classic or a new one? We're so overwhelmingly spoiled for choice. What should we do is the big old question. What should we watch? The Matrix, classic like Monty Python. Innuendo, yes. I think even the word innuendo is innuendo. Classic Doctor Who. Is there classic Doctor Who on? I know they had some Doctor Who on. Watchmen, Jurassic Park, Interstellar. Train to Busan. Okay, who has and who hasn't seen Train to Busan? It's a zombie movie from South Korea, where basically people are on a train to Busan and there are zombies on the train that they're trying to protect themselves from. And it's a high-speed train, so you can't jump off. And then you've got to get a drink. That's always a good idea to get a drink. I'm still drinking my blood orange. Don't stay out too late, Catherine. But I'm just looking. Okay, Train to Busan is a 2-hour zombie movie. Abigail, you want to point out the scientific inaccuracies and accuracies in Interstellar? Yeah, Interstellar is like trippy as hell. Catherine, you're not in favor of a zombie movie? I've seen the trailer for that series Kingdom. That's like a feudal storyline with zombies, if I remember. Don't want to do anything that people don't actually want to watch, you know, just because I think the idea of a South Korean zombie movie is good. Now, you're a bit sick of zombies. Okay, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go somewhere else. John Wick 2. Dolomite is my name. Oh, Black Mirror Bandersnatch. Jesus. Oh my God, that did my head in. So much work went into Bandersnatch. A few good sci-fi ones. I Am Mother, Bird Box, Mute, Triple Frontier, Shaft. The one with 3 generations of Shaft. Cam. Oh, I watched that. That's a horror movie that centers on a cam girl, which was kind of interesting. Yes, I watched I Am Mother, Abigail. I didn't mind it. Hey, Twana, how are you this evening? Although I think it's probably early morning for you in Washington, D.C. Twana is one of my oldest sort of internet friends. I think we first came into contact, God, I don't know, 15 years ago. No, it wasn't. 13 or 14 years ago, I bet, on my blog, like even pre-YouTube days. All right, we're not getting any closer to deciding on what to watch. All right, we're gonna split it first. 6:30 a.m. I suppose that's a kind of normal time for someone to be awake. I don't know if you've been awake all night. Okay, so to try and narrow this down, if we're going to watch something, so some quick votes. Should we watch a movie or a TV show? Like, we could just watch one episode of a TV show, or we could watch a movie. So what are the votes? Should we watch a TV show or a movie? I'm interested to see what people think would work better. And while we consider that, I'm going to look at a couple more things. Where's the searchy search? Okay, that's interesting. I find that most interesting. They did have Doctor Who on here at one point, but they seem not to anymore. That's interesting. Yeah, okay, let's do a TV episode. Okay, because then we can do a trial. And if that works, we'll watch a movie another time. Okay, so TV episode. Should we watch something new or something classic? So, or we could go halfway between a TV show and a movie. Like I was just mentioning Black Mirror Bandersnatch. That's a bit too much, I think. But we could watch an episode of Black Mirror. Or rewatch Love, Death and Robots. Who remembers Love, Death and Robots? Yes, yes. There's some good Star Trek on Netflix, definitely. Okay, so that's my two recommendations were Black Mirror or Love, Death and Robots. Twana, thanks for dropping by and saying hi. Yeah, no, I'm doing live streams probably at least 5 times a night at about this time. Love, Death and Robots is anthology animation sci-fi stuff with the themes of love, death and robots, and they range from a couple minutes to about 15 minutes long, with different animators, different animation styles, different writers. So they are very, very, very different going from story to story. I might do that because then we can stop watching at any time, because it's okay. I'm going to do, there you go, making an executive decision. Love, Death and Robots. So if I get this right, okay, I've got to plug my headphones in so I can hear it. I can keep the stream going. All right, my headphones. Okay, the other question is, does anyone want to get on their cam and join the stream? And this is whether you're watching the Netflix party or not. And then there can be conversations rather than just me monologuing on the stream. There can be conversations happening. Okay, so all right. So first, invite to the stream. Copy. Okay, so this is for anyone who wants to join the stream. Get your webcams on. And I'll start up Love, Death and Robots. Only I have control. Start the party. Copy. Now, to be clear, that's the Netflix party launch. So you have to go to netflixparty.com, install the Chrome extension. Maybe I should have done this sooner, just to clarify. You have to go to netflixparty.com. Here's Abigail. Hello. Oh, with a Magnum by the looks of it. Oh, now you got an ice cream headache, have you?
Of course.
Okay, Catherine's coming on too. Hey, Catherine.
No, just,
Hello.
there is
Wait,
a
let
huge
me-
delay, by the way.
There often is. It can be anywhere between 5 and 30 seconds. So, oh, what was that?
Cool.
What was that? Stop it. Okay. Stop.
Wait. There I
What
am.
the fuck?
It's about 10 seconds for me.
What the fuck is this doing? Okay, it's not working. People are just fucking with it.
Who's doing what with what?
The Netflix thing.
Yeah. I clicked the link and it just took me to Netflix, not the party.
Well,
I get
no,
to the party.
that's what I was sort of trying to step people through things. You have to have the Netflix party.
You need to have the
extension.
Chrome extension installed.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I click that.
Yeah, and then Netflix will open, and up next to your address on the browser bar will be a red NP.
Yeah.
You have to click on that.
And then it just goes extensions Netflix party and it just goes there. And it said remove from Chrome. I don't know what I'm looking at.
No. You don't. It installs in like half a second.
Yeah.
And then you just follow the link I gave you.
Yeah. Can you put the... Well, all right, now I've got to go back to YouTube to find the link.
What the fuck is this thing doing? Seriously.
Oh, that was me. I had to open YouTube. Yeah.
No,
So
no. It's
I tried the link you sent, and when I clicked the red NP, it said it was for a different video.
okay. It's
Wait,
this is rapidly devolving into a thing that isn't working.
yeah.
My patience for things that don't work is very short.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm actually giving up. I'm not interested. So, all right, and I can take my headphones off, and I don't feel like I'm at the bottom of the ocean either. I don't wear headphones.
It was
that
worth
often.
a try.
Yeah, no, it was worth a try. When I'm at the bottom of the thing on my ears, I feel like I'm at the bottom of the ocean. So another time, I might try it another time. So,
Yeah.
yes,
It's
Megalicha.
very complicated.
Yes, it's proved to be more complicated, but look, we'll build up to it another time anyway.
Yeah, you know the weird thing? Like, I just tried to log in.
It was working for me.
This lag is killing it for me.
And I'm trying to log into the Netflix on Chrome, and it had my every password, who I broke up with like 8 years ago, and I don't think I had this laptop then.
Okay, I'm going to test something with lag. Abigail's suffering badly from lag. For you three who are actually on cam, I'm going to count to 3, and then I want you to say 4. Like you go 4 right when that comes. I'll do 1, 2, 3, and you say 4. Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3,
4.
Clear.
Okay, so you're about 2 seconds lag behind me. So I'm not sure what that means in bounce back to you either. Oh, no, Abigail's like 20 bloody seconds. Sorry. Okay. Okay, I have no idea why the lag is so severe for you.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, there was a bad lag.
Tig is back again.
Yeah.
Hello. So, yeah, okay. Anyway. Oh, nothing. Okay, Adele, you got to do some bits and pieces so you can spend tomorrow studying. Have a good night, yes? Look, I want to do it because the one thing that's bugging me is, okay, the control thing, because if anyone can fuck with the controls, then it makes it unmanageable. And there's a thing like when I launched it says, make me the only one in control. And Megaleech said, he saw a thing that said I had exclusive. Megaleech reckons if you refresh Abigail, the lag might not be as bad. I don't know if he's saying that from experience, but yeah. So I clicked the thing that said I should have exclusive.
I'll refresh the page.
Okay. Yeah. Megaleech said he saw the thing that said I had exclusive control. But someone else was in there. Abigail's back. Okay.
Hello, Abigail.
Good. So Abigail, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, then say 4. So, and actually, Catherine and Annette, if you're paying attention, you do the same thing because I want a comparison. So,
sure.
1, 2, 3,
4.
Oh
my God, that was 10 seconds. That was like,
Wow.
I was laughing at you.
Catherine and Annette have exactly the same lag, which is about 2 seconds. And Abigail, I have no idea why this would be.
It's impossible to have a conversation with 10 seconds of lag.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you're always about as easy, Abigail.
I have really fast internet as well.
No idea. That doesn't really happen very often. So I have no idea why it's doing to you. Bloody technology. What's that about? Oh, well. Stella, that was you doing that. Okay. Okay, no, it was telling me someone else was skipping episodes.
This would never happen with OBS and like Skype or Zoom or something.
Well, again, when we get to we're not in isolation anymore, and if you're in a position to help me with technical thing, OBS just freaked me out. I did download it and install it, and I was just like, yeah, no, I don't know what that is. That's no, don't like that at all. And whereas bloody StreamYard is like...
I've gotten really good at using OBS.
There you go. But StreamYard's idiot-proof. Well, I say that, and then AZ has trouble with it, so it's like, you know... what's the old saying? As soon as you think you've made something foolproof, another thing comes along. He doesn't mind if I make him the butt of all the jokes. That's fine. But yeah,
I'm going to try this in a different browser, see if it helps.
Okay, Abigail's going to try a different browser. Stella, yeah, see, it was telling me, Stella, that you were actually skipping episodes. So there was something weird going on there. But yes, if people are randomly stopping or starting the Netflix party, it makes it unmanageable. Well, we'll go to it. See, also, I have to admit, I want to make a couple of cocktails tonight, and I don't want to miss anything from the show. So on a weekday when I'm not going to be making drinks, maybe do a Netflix watch party because I won't be making drinks on work nights. Andrew, good morning to you, I guess. Evening over here. Yes, okay, we were. Well, I wasn't lying. We did try out Netflix Party, and it just didn't go very well. Okay, Abigail is trying again.
How's that?
I think you might be close. I'll do the same 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
4.
That's about the same as Catherine and Annette now.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
All right.
And I closed the original YouTube window as well, so
okay.
that might. So yeah, so I'm doing this on Firefox now.
Okay, cool. Well, whatever you did, it appears to have worked.
Yay!
Lovely.
Yay.
So
The system works.
the system works. So if on another night we do try the watch party, is everyone cool with trying the Love, Death and Robots because it's episodic? Yeah. All right. Because there's supposedly going to do another anthology, but this was like, I don't know, was it a year or two ago? Love, Death and Robots came out. It feels like it was a while ago. But time no longer has meaning. I mean,
and everything's been put on hold anyway. So,
Well, theoretically, something that was purely animation might be able to more or less proceed on schedule because people often do the components of it in isolation. Like the actors do voice work tend to do it alone in a studio. And the animators, theoretically, they'd have to go into work to have the high-powered machines, but they don't necessarily have to be close to each other. So they could still
I mean, animation is probably the only part of it that could continue going. Anything live action is probably completely ruled out. And currently I think they're still shooting Neighbours, but they're doing it with camera angles to try and work out the social distancing, right? And so they're having a lot of phone calls with just one person.
Luke, watch party was more complicated than I thought. We'll probably try it again another night. So we have to make sure everyone has, and it's not that difficult, to have the Netflix Party extension installed on Chrome, and then click the link that I send, and then click the NP on the browser window, and then theoretically it works. We'll probably try it again during the week. So that's all right. All right. Cool.
So did you happen to catch the live stream that I hosted last night?
I did not. What were you doing last night?
So a friend of mine produces a Drag King show, and because of social distancing, we had to do it online. So I was the tech person. I did all the OBS stuff. We had a live host. We had interviews over Skype. We had performance videos. We had a raffle, and I wrote a little program to do a random raffle drawing and had that up on the screen as well. And it worked really well. And if you want, I can send you a link to the video.
Absolutely.
It's a 2-hour show, but it's a barrel of laughs. You'll love it. It's hilarious.
Definitely like a link.
I'll send you a link if you'd like. I'll pop it in the chat.
Yeah, or also send it to me on Facebook or Twitter as well, so I can get it later.
Okay. I'll find a short link for it because all the links I'm finding for it are massive. Here we go.
Strictly saying I missed your live stream because I was busy triple fisting last night. So
So I can't post a link in the chat, of course.
No. So just send it to me on like Facebook or Twitter or something.
Sure.
Yeah, that's an anti. That's not even something like control. That's an anti-spam
Oh, really?
thing.
Okay, sure.
StreamYard has built in. Although, wait a sec. Let me see. General shift videos, up comments, banners, audio, green screen, guests. Guests must authenticate.
Oh, I've sent it in a private chat.
Yes.
It's not appearing in the YouTube chat, which I popped out.
Okay, you sent me the link there. I can put it in the chat if anyone's interested in
a cracking Drag King show. It was a lot of fun actually, and
sounds good.
It was a really good experience in producing and streaming a live show.
Cool. Yeah.
And I got to show off my OBS chops.
Nice.
Yeah, with mistakes and all, and there were a few. It was my first time actually doing a live show of that level of production. Usually I'm just streaming a video game or something.
Okay.
And that's pretty
cool.
easy.
I remember way back in the day, the thing I did for college was recording a concert, a 3-piece band live show in a theater with 4 cameras. And I was like the director with shouting commands at the camera people through headsets and had my vision switching slave going up. Like, camera on. No, camera three.
Well, I had last night. I had the producer of the show in Discord chat. Yeah. I had the live host at their house on Skype, and they couldn't hear each other. They were talking through me, and I was the tech person doing all the camera work.
Yeah.
And all the like OBS scenes. And it was just chaos. I had to mute people after a while because I had to monitor the show as well and all the videos playing. So at any one time, there could have been like 2 or 3 people talking to me. And that's chaos.
Why couldn't those 2 people be on the same platform?
Because we were getting the Skype calls live on the stream. So we were grabbing the windows and plugging them in and putting little overlays on them. But the producer wanted to talk to me directly, but so that she could direct what was happening. But if she was on Skype talking to the live host, it would have come through on the stream.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot harder, but that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, they had an indirect communication via a Google document. And we had like cue sheets and notes on Google Drive. So, but the host wasn't checking them. She was relying on me. So it was fun. It was chaotic, and it turned out really well.
No, that sounds good. I remember,
ideally, we'd all be in the same room.
Yeah, well, that would be better.
Ideally,
Yeah.
Yeah, the
These are
new
not
age
ideal times.
trying out new technology.
Yeah. I remember reading a description of the job of a producer of like morning radio on ABC, and talking about like, you know, the presenter is got someone in the studio doing a live interview, the producers like keeping track of everything on that, levels, timing, and etc. for how long that was meant to go. Had the next guest in one ear in the headphones, was in another studio, keeping them busy, and there was a phone call being lined up in the other ear.
Oh, goodness me.
And then there were people physically around them. And this producer, she's like an air traffic controller, just going. And she could like when the host looked up at her, and she's got different things going in each ear. The host looked up at her. She would just go like 2 minutes and juggling. And that was apparently for I think the shift was like 2 hours. And for the whole 2 hours was this level of barely controlled chaos. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm already overwhelmed by that. That's kind of what it was like for me, except like I can't handle a lot of audio stimulus, so I had to mute people eventually.
yeah, that's fair. It was funny because the thing I did with the band was while I was at college, and because people knew I was not in the theatre. We had the thing. There was the theatre where the show was going on, and next to it was the TV studio where we had the switching thing and the recorders to record the show, and we were running cables. It was like such a bloody MacGyver setup. There was like literally really long cables running from each camera out the door and across to the next building, and then we're plugged into a vision switcher. And same thing with audio things. Each camera operator had a headset, and I had a headset. And then we found out what we wanted to do with one camera operator. His headset wouldn't stretch far enough, and and I said, look, and because we had a runner as well, we had like a stagehand for emergencies, and I said, take the headset off, give it to the runner. You go off and do the thing that we said you're going to do from a different angle. If it doesn't work, the runner will come and bring you back. And for whatever reason, I don't know if he just had bad light or whatever. When he went to get this other shot, which would have been good, it was just constantly out of focus.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
fuck, dude, why is it out of focus? And so I'm going to and because none of them could talk back. We didn't have that technology. And so I'm just, normally when I said to the camera operator, like, if I ask you to verify something, just nod so I know you've heard me. But now this camera operator doesn't have a headset on, and the runner who's got the headset on doesn't have a camera. So I have no way of getting an acknowledgement that they've got my message. So I'm like, it's fucked. It's not working. I don't know why it's not working, but he needs to come back. Get him back. And I'm like, God fucking damn it. I don't even know if that message has got to anyone. Because then the runner had to run around the edge of so it took like 2 minutes to get him till I finally realized the message had got through. But it was just like, everyone thought and we did 3 nights, and everyone thought it was a bit neurotic. Like at one point when we were having a problem, a group of people, like my friends from the same course, came to see what it was like in the studio, and they just picked the worst time of the whole night, and including one of my lecturers. And I just went, no, not now. and I just went 5 minutes, and they went, okay. They never came back. And my sidekick, he's going, that was a bit harsh. And I went, dude, I can't fucking handle it. I can't fucking handle it right now. So exactly like you, Abigail, having to shut people off. It's like, no, that's one thing too many. Humans is one thing too many. And it was like,
oh yeah. No, it reminds me, like this morning, like I'm a theatre performer. So we tried it's our first week back since like the middle of March. We tried to do an hour and a half rehearsal on Zoom today.
Oh.
Yeah. So bad. It wasn't bad, but technically it was it was hilarious, and we had no clue what we were doing. And it wasn't like half the people had technical difficulties, and half the people had just communication of how exactly does this work kind of thing. Like how we meant to write a script and do improv when we've got it all on Zoom.
It's so hard when you're not in person. Like over Zoom, some things are just really hard.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying I didn't have fun. I had a lot of fun, but I'm like, what on earth are we doing? Yeah.
Well, I eventually moved to text chat in Discord with the producer.
Yeah.
And that worked. And I can type pretty quickly, so that worked. But it reminds me of the episode of Deep Space Nine when Nog was on the bridge of the Defiant, relaying messages to the engine room.
Yeah.
Hope those
Yes.
Ferengi ears pick it all up.
Yeah, I'm a
Also,
bit tired, but I've got been-
nerdiest possible analogy, Abigail.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Trekkie. Didn't you know that?
Yeah, I can kind of tell from the tattoo. Yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
unless
yeah.
that's a working communicator you had impregnated on
Oh,
your chest.
totally. Yep. Beaming up
Was
as we speak.
Joke my friend used to make as we were Trekkies with the Next Generation, where they do that. He's just like, "What is that? Why don't they just go the whole way?" And go, because
Well,
he thought that's what they were doing. They're just like
there-
feeling themselves up.
There is a Next Generation porn parody.
Of course,
Um,
there is.
And the thing about it is they got an actor in to play Picard who's not in any of the porn scenes, and
Right.
he does work as a Patrick Stewart impersonator.
Oh
And if
my
you take
God.
out all the porn scenes, it's
Yeah.
actually a half decent episode of Star Trek. Like they have a plot.
Isn't it funny when they do
And-
that with
yeah.
porno?
And there is a cut of it on YouTube without any of the porn scenes that you can look up.
Oh my God,
Um,
that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I'll look it up while we're chatting,
Yes.
and I'll send a link.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Oh my God, that's just.
Yeah,
So-
it's classic.
Stove started making an obnoxious noise. I'm just going to stop it.
Yep.
Okay.
Obnoxious noise.
Now I'm in a weird mood. People should suggest something I should make, and I mean an alcoholic beverage I should base a cocktail around.
Well, right now I'm half falling asleep, so I'm craving an espresso martini.
Well, I have a real aversion to coffee, so I'm not going to do that.
Okay, so the video is in 2 parts, and it's not great quality, but I've posted a link to part 1.
Oh God, yeah.
It's actually a really good episode of Star Trek.
Okay. I'm gonna have
Despite the
to-
fact that they fade to black every time some sexy times that are about to
of
happen.
course, yes.
There's the link for part 2.
All right, cool.
It's
Oh my God,
so funny.
it's so they actually still do those full scale porn parodies. Like I thought everything was just 5-minute quickie things on the internet now.
Well, this
But I
is
don't
like 8 years ago, so
Yeah.
8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think there's still money in it. They just have to get creative because so much porn is for free out there.
Yes.
Yeah, they have to rely on people being generous, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah. But yeah, I was a little bit surprised when I discovered they were still doing, quite involved porn parodies. Good on them.
Well, everyone needs a creative outlet.
They do, don't they? Oh, okay.
This,
Megalith wants. I am sorry. Where's those messages?
Oh, I've posted them in the private chat because I can't post messages in the.
I'm going to put them
chat.
here. This
Sure.
for people for their own edification. This is the porn Star Trek without the porn, apparently, and which is funny.
Yeah, it's a great episode of Star Trek.
Yeah, it's a good episode. Oh, okay. Now, Strictly Sega wants the funniest concept for a porn parody. I mean, they're all equally funny. There was the Sarah Palin porn parody.
Nailin' Palin.
Nailin' Palin. Catherine knows what I'm talking about. I actually,
The Edward Penis Hands was pretty clever.
that is a classic. That's like a 90s classic. That
Yeah.
one. I have to admit, because I never saw that, so I assumed every one of his fingers was going to be a dildo, but apparently he just had like one dildo.
Yeah, on each hand.
I was a bit
thing.
disappointed when I heard that because I thought it really should have been like Edward Scissorhands. So it should have been like he could have been one-man group sex scene with multiple dildos going. There's something there. Yeah, Strictly Sega's gone for Edward Penis Hands. I agree. The Nail Palin was funny because it was a real life one, and they had stand-ins for Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza Rice, who were both much better looking than Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza Rice. There was predictably a scene with Sarah Palin and Russian soldiers because of that line, which was actually from Saturday Night Live with "I can see Russia from my house." So they predictably had a scene with her and Russian soldiers,
as well as a spoof of Bill O'Reilly, according to the Wikipedia.
Oh, there you go. I don't remember it in that much detail, but there you go.
Wow.
And this was not so much a parody. Oh God! Now Megalith wants someone to Photoshop me with.
Oh my God! It won multiple awards.
Of course it did.
Porno?
Yeah, like there are AVN awards.
Yeah.
The AVN awards, the Adult Video Industry Magazine Awards. It won a ZBiz award.
There you go.
Which I don't know what that is.
No.
Nominated for tons of others.
Good.
It was more of a movie than a porn.
So many porn awards. And then I think that's just an excuse for them to all to get together and get pissed and hand out trophies and whatnot. Like most awards nights, honestly. Like seriously, the is it the Emmys that are the Hollywood Foreign News Association? It's not the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes that are put on by the very important sounding Foreign Press Association is complete bullshit. It was just some rich board people who put together a show to compete with the Academy Awards because they wanted an opportunity to meet all the movie stars and TV stars.
Oh God!
The Golden Globes was literally invented by rich people who wanted to hang out with movie stars. So yeah.
Wow.
They didn't have an excuse before that. I mean,
the concept of the Academy Awards, to be an Academy member is not as easy as you'd think, and it's a bit of a men's club and a white men's club. And it's a bit of a joke, and I've heard of people not accepting membership because of it. And it's no wonder ratings have been going down for years because movies that are literally Oscar bait are winning all the time. And it's a whole thing.
Well, have you heard about like movies actually full on campaign to get Oscars?
Yeah.
Like
And it's not about the quality of the film; it's about how good your marketing was.
And they'll schedule the release of movies not for like holiday season or when the peak viewers will be. It'll be for when the Oscars are coming, and so you get all these movies that didn't get great box office ratings, but the Academy loved them because they were made for the Academy.
Yeah, it's almost like you're gonna tick all these boxes.
Hit all the same beats. Yep.
Yeah, and so I find Oscar award-winning movies kind of boring.
Yeah, it depends, but there's some that
it doesn't leave a lot of room for really creative endeavors.
Yeah,
and passion projects and things like that.
Yeah, but
or just good movies.
Yeah, I
keep cutting off.
Really original, but they're always very long, and they're always usually biopics or as told by a true story. Like it's always dramas.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's always a drama, never the action, never the
comedy.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the comedy does have its own category.
Yeah.
Like
I was thinking, like the joke is you make your movie about a person with a severe disability who still achieves greatness, about the Holocaust, or about white people solving racism, basically.
Yeah, and you never cast a disabled actor in a disabled role.
Yeah, it's always, what's my friend call it? Cripping up. Instead of blackface is often called blacking up. A lot of disabled actors say, like, oh no, here comes such and such. They're cripping up for a role I should have gotten.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Look,
as a disabled actor, I have that trouble.
Yeah,
it's the same with a lot of minority groups.
Yeah. And look, I want to put out for when the beautiful movie stars try and get an award by ugging up. Charlize Theron playing Monster, the serial killer Eileen Wuornos. And that's one plus one. But you get these ones where really beautiful stars make themselves less conventionally attractive to show it's a serious role, and they get all the plaudits. You go, nope, that's taking it away from ugly people, okay? Ugly people have limited range of options.
Either gain like 40 pounds or they lose 40 pounds. Like that time that Christian Bale did, and he got really skinny. That one movie. I don't know what it was. I never saw it.
The Machinist. I saw it, and that is a weird AF movie. And he's like the weight of a 10-year-old in that movie. He's so skinny because the character's meant to have basically had insomnia for a year. They've been having a mental breakdown for a year, and they haven't been eating. And like his weight difference between The Machinist and Batman, which were only a couple of years apart, was about 60 kilograms. Like in Batman, he's bulked up with muscle.
Muscle, but
and I'm looking at Google Images, and it's just incredible.
That can't be healthy.
Yeah.
Like on your kidneys and your liver and stuff.
Yeah, it's not good for you. Actors who do these extreme things, they are damaging their health when they do it. And probably shortening their life. So
because you hear about them like drinking like a cup of broth a day or something.
Yeah. I liked Tom Hanks for Castaway. He did the cheeky thing. He put on 20 pounds before the movie started, so he's 20 pounds above his normal weight. And so then when he had to be the contrasted, much leaner on the island, he just had to get back to a little bit under his normal weight. Because you notice him at the start of the movie, you're like, that's a bit chunkier than I remember Tom Cruise at that time in his life. He had to put on a bit of weight so he could lose it.
If you're going to do it, if you're going to do it, might as well do it with some like junk food and enjoy yourself rather than starving yourself.
Yeah, but it's
probably healthier too.
Yeah. Robert De Niro in Raging Bull when he's playing the boxer Jake LaMotta. So he had to get in fighting shape. He had to convincingly look like a heavyweight boxing athlete. But then he's also Jake LaMotta sliding into ruin in his later life. And did Robert De Niro wear a fat suit? He did not. He spent a couple of months eating pasta 4 times a day and just put on all this weight. And so he could play Jake LaMotta sort of sliding into decay. But, geez. And yes, saying Bale's passionate about his art. Yeah, no one made Christian Bale. No one made him bulk up for Batman, but he was pretty serious about it.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, have you seen him? Have you seen Christian Bale in what he looks like in Backseat? He's put on a ton of weight. He's barely recognizable.
I don't think I have. He's also playing Dick Cheney in a movie, isn't he?
It's the same movie, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So, and he completely, he doesn't give a shit. He seems to have no vanity. Like, he doesn't give a shit what he looks like. I also I have to admit, Rusty Crowe, I admire him, not giving a shit. Like he's really scruffy and overweight in a very underrated film called The Nice Guys. And I was like, yep, he's managed, and because he's actually been notorious for some of his behavior in the past. But it's like, no, he seems to have been able to park his ego at the door and just say, no, this is what this character looks like. He's dumpy, middle-aged, and scruffy. So I'm going to be on a huge screen being dumpy, middle-aged, and scruffy for 2 hours. So I was like,
well, the thing with actors is they have all these dietitians and personal trainers and all that they can pay for, and they can take 4 months off work and actually physically prepare for the role. Like,
fair.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. When you see like, oh, the stars, they look so good. No, they can literally pay a top-end personal trainer to be with them 2 hours a day. The thing us mere mortals simply cannot do. Shell for me saying John Travolta in The Fanatic. I don't think I know that one. Is that a recent or an older one?
You looking that up, Abigail?
I'm looking it up. John Travolta. Oh yeah, he looks weird.
All right, I've got to look it up now too.
Yeah, he's just thrown it all in and nailed it for the part, but you don't even recognize him.
Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, I've seen that image of him. Yes, I think I've seen this movie actually.
I haven't seen it, but it reminds me of. Have you seen the movie Falling Down?
Yes, the old Michael Douglas one.
I'm going
to share the picture for everyone. Where are we? This one. So that's John Travolta on the left with a very freaky-looking home haircut.
Yeah, that's a bowl cut. That's a bad bowl cut.
Yeah. And I think that's meant to be the character is a bit of an unusual character. Oh, no, I like us better in widescreen. There you go. We're in widescreen.
Oh,
that's a bit. It gets weirdly.
This is really showcasing how bad my web camera is. It's such an old webcam.
I got a new one recently, so mine looks really sharp. So
I ordered one because they sold out in a lot of shops when the coronavirus hit.
Yeah.
And so I had to order one from AliExpress. It's the only one I could find. And a month and a half later, it still hasn't arrived because the post is so slow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And all the flights have stopped. That's how a lot of the mail comes in. And so when the flights stop, the mail stop, and they have to ship it. And that's just slow.
Yeah.
Anything you buy locally is fine, and any local mail is fine. But a lot of the things you get on eBay and like AliExpress and Wish and all that is from China.
Yes.
And everything shut down.
Yeah. All right,
Online shopping is up 403%. That's a very specific percentage.
I'm not sure if Safa's finger slipped at the end there or if he wants to be incredibly precise.
I would believe it.
403% exactly.
Yes. 403.76.
Yeah. The thing with the webcams being gone, I started working from home voluntarily about a week before almost everyone started doing it. And I thought, I don't want to use my sort of home workstation. I want to get a new monitor so I can set up with a laptop. And I just went into an Officeworks and they were almost sold out of monitors. And it hadn't occurred to me that everyone would be doing it, but of course they were. And I got one, brought it home, and I mentioned on social media, it was sold out of monitors. And someone, I just tried to get a webcam, and they were sold out of webcam.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, I bought this new computer just before El Corona hit, and I'm set up with like all these monitors, and it's great. Except I didn't buy a webcam. And so I can stream at 1080p, but the webcam is 480p. So, oh well.
Safa wants to know what the screen resolution of my new monitor is. I have no idea. You know, it's a modern monitor, whatever they are.
Is it HD or 2K or 4K?
Possibly.
HD is HD. The definition of high definition is 1080p. So any like TV you get will be 1080 by I have to look
768 or whatever that is.
Yeah. No, I think 1080 is the height. Because I've got a HD monitor above my 2K monitor. And 2K is 1440p.
Okay.
So my 2K monitor is 1440p by 2560, and my 1080p monitor is 1080 by 1920. So it's the vertical pixel resolution.
I'm still trying to decide what cocktail to make. No one's thrown in something I should make a cocktail.
Yeah, I'm getting thirsty.
I get so bogged down looking at recipes going, I could make that. Like some good sounding ones. The Queen Mother is gin, aromatized wine, red aperitivo,
8K,
rum.
8K monitor. That's
they're up to 8K now. Yeah.
Holy cow! The video card you'd need to run that. That's nuts.
I'll be back. I'm getting a drink.
All right, Catherine's getting a drink. I've talked Catherine into getting a drink. There you go.
I've got my Crystal Skull vodka on hand. This stuff is so good.
It is.
I mean, I don't think it's like $100 good, but you know, for the decanter you get,
yes, I got 2 of them for decanter. In fact, I got gift sets that were actually cheaper than just normally buying the Crystal Head. So it was the vodka, and one of them was 2 really nice skull shot glasses.
Oh, nice.
And the other one was a skull martini glass. It's a martini glass that's got a skull on the stem. And they were cheaper than what a bottle of the Crystal Head normally is. So I think they were like $70 or $80. So I've got them. Strictly Sega remembers last night, I need to use up my bourbon so I have an excuse to buy an Australian whiskey to replace it with. I did. I said I was. Oh no, I was going. That's what I said I was going to do, wasn't it? I've got those little bourbons. I'm going to make a whiskey sour with an expensive bourbon. Yeah. All right. I'm going to do that. Okay. I'm going to get my egg white. I maybe shouldn't still be using, but I'm a wild devil may care kind of guy.
Can you still hear me while you're over there?
Yeah. It's just coming out my laptop speakers.
Okay. So the stream you did the other day when you made a cocktail with egg whites, and now that you mention it now, I don't really like egg, and it sounds revolting, but I guess if it works, it works.
Look, absolutely. If you don't like egg, there are a couple of alternatives. Dancing a cheek there, Abigail. There are a couple of alternatives.
Abigail show now.
I
could be angry.
One is
angry Abigail.
What the hell? One is the water you get off like if you get a jar of chickpeas. It's called Aquafaba.
Okay.
That is a very good egg white substitute. And there's also some specific stuff you can buy online, I think, that's meant to make.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's literally just the stuff out.
I've also tried what are they called? Chia seeds, and you soak them.
Okay.
And they just swell up and into this like transparent mix of goo, and you can use that as an egg white substitute.
Okay. So I need my sweetener. Where's my sweetener? Yeah, so there are a few things you can use as egg white substitutes. Egg white's just easy. Sorry, I got to put Catherine's sound back on because I think you're making noise with ice in the background. There.
Yeah, I was. I just got vodka and orange because I just couldn't work out what I wanted.
That's fair enough. that's fair enough. So yeah, but I've solved my mystery. I'm going to make a whiskey sour with my expensive tiny bottle. See how much is still in here, actually. So, got to do the dry shake first. I'm interested in how much is still in this, actually. I'm just going to use it all up anyway. It's about what I thought. So there's about 3 ounces in one of these, 90 mils. And I used 1 ounce last night. So 2 ounces, which is a pretty normal amount to put in.
Was that like 2 shots?
Yeah, 2 shots.
Yeah.
2 shots of, and that's overproof whiskey. So, woo! Egg white.
Done.
Is that? If there's anything funny in it, the overproof whiskey will kill it. So
I'll just be back in a sec, okay?
all right. Ooh, Megaleech poured Midori on low sugar ice cream for dessert. That sounds pretty good.
That sounds good.
Mrs. Angry made us an ice cream dessert that was Cointreau mixed in with ice cream, and it was really good.
Andre.
Luke's having
Rum and Coke.
rum and Coke. Stella, you reckon Aquafaba needs a ton of sugar? I guess that's down to personal taste. If the taste of Aquafaba bothers you, then you might need to overdo it with the sugar. But not everyone hates the taste.
Hello.
We're just worried that the egg white was actually off.
Oh no!
Will Angry get food poisoning live on?
I had some minor food poisoning the other day. It's not great.
I haven't had it for a little while. It's definitely not a good thing, though.
I went to Hobart once for a conference.
Yeah.
And I was there with my partner at the time.
Yeah.
And we decided to go early, so we went like the weekend before the conference and stay the weekend after. On the Sunday before the conference started, we went to the Salamanca market, which is a famous market there in Hobart, and we went to the vegetarian, the veggie burger place there, and as we were eating our burgers, we noticed that the cashier who was making the burgers was also handling money with the same hand, little gloved hand. And when we saw that, we both thought, uh-oh, that's not great. And then the next day, we both had the worst food poisoning ever. And 4 days of the conference, we were just sick in the hotel. It was awful. Yeah. So I'm never going to that veggie burger place again. If I ever go to Hobart again, it was just the worst. As soon as we saw her handling money, it was like, uh-oh, I know it's going to happen. And it happened. Yeah. And not just that, we were staying in like, it wasn't an expensive, it wasn't like a backpackers or anything, but the place we were staying had bed bugs. So so they refunded us, luckily, and offered to hot wash everything to get rid of the bed bugs. But I had one crawling in my arm. It was the grossest thing ever. And when you've got food poisoning as well, it was just awful. And so we had to change hostels, and it was just a bad trip. And at least the last weekend was nice. The weather was nice. We'd gotten over everything, and we went for a walk around, and it was nice.
Ooh, it's pretty nice. Oh, we're all getting drinks. Strictly Sega's having a vodka lemonade. Man, I like it.
Simple, but good.
Vodka lemonade. In fact, I could do that. I've got some Sprite, and I've got a mug, which is my Elite Dangerous player group sent me this as a prize. It's themed for our starbase where we have in the game.
There you go.
Yeah, there's this. It's called Hutton Orbital. So I'm gonna make myself a vodka lemonade with my cocktail hour with Angry Catherine and Abigail.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Lovely. Yeah.
So far as I can tell, the egg white's not bad. This tastes really good. So
Cool.
Angry, you are a bad influence.
I am a bad influence. I'm definitely a bad influence. Oh man, okay. It's so funny that I did this experiment because I had always said expensive ingredients don't make that much difference to a cocktail. And now I have done multiple experiments, and in every case, the expensive ingredients tasted noticeably better in the cocktail.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot for taste in that, but
Yeah.
generally it's a rule of thumb: you get what you paid for.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to get really cheap, nasty shit because in
That
my
tastes
youth,
like
I made
petrol.
that mistake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, who's asking about the weather? Luke, is it going to rain? I think it actually tomorrow's raining quite a bit. I think.
But don't we have to all stay inside anyway?
Yeah. What's the point? No, I get away with it because I run once a day so I can get some fresh air.
Yeah.
So I run for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're in Melbourne is actually getting quite a bit of rain this week. We had a lot of sun last week.
Yeah.
But a lot of rain this coming.
According to the Bureau of Meteorology, it'll rain tomorrow, and then it's like cloudy but sunny the rest of the week. But some of these days are like 95% chance of rain.
Yeah.
Or light rain.
It might not be much rain, but it's going to run.
It's going to be constant. It's going to be classic Melbourne rainy weather. Just drizzles for hours and hours.
Well, as I said before, my workstation for working from home is just behind me. So I have a view out the big glass doors into the garden, which is actually really quite nice.
Okay.
So I really notice the weather. If it's sunny, everything's beautiful and bright.
Yeah.
Then the clouds come over and ooh, it suddenly got really blue.
Well, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say that there's a little veranda at the back and it's got the plastic corrugated sheeting on it, which is, of course, really noisy if it rains, let alone hails. So if it rains, I really know it. So, yeah.
Well, so I live in a high-rise apartment building, and I'm like I'm on the 14th floor of a 20-floor high-rise in Fitzroy. Yeah. And so there's like 6 floors above me and 13 floors below me. So when it rains, I don't hear it at all. Sometimes I don't even know if it's raining. Yeah. Unless it's like really strong and going a bit horizontal and hitting the window. I just never know. I can't hear it on the roof and I can't hear it hit the ground.
Oh, yeah, because you're in the middle of that sandwich.
Yeah. So I installed an app on my phone, a rain simulation sound.
Nice.
Because I started missing the sound of rain.
Yeah. No, that's good.
I enjoy it.
I like that.
It's currently raining here right now, and I've got a corrugated roof.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's really nice.
Yeah. Luke's saying it's raining in Adelaide. Strictly Sega says pissing down in the south of Perth. And hi to you, Emma, who's just come into the chat. So nice to see you.
Hello.
I grew up in the country, and the town I grew up in, Dubbo, almost everyone had corrugated iron roofs. And there were a couple of extended droughts when I was growing up. But there's one time when it hadn't been raining for ages, but a really severe storm came in really fast. And it was in the backyard, and you just heard this like drumming noise, and it just got louder. And it was this storm front just coming in really hard and just making a lot of noise as it hit roofs. And just as it approached, you just heard it coming. And it was just like so it wasn't a gentle introduction. It was just this wall of water coming. And it's pretty full on. Yeah, Strictly saying, Marge, the rains are here. We all remember that ad, do we? Yeah.
Yeah, the corn.
Remember that ad. Look at that.
Yeah, those kids are bastards in that ad. That's all I'm saying. Stella's saying there's even a drizzle in Kalgoorlie. So there you go. Not an enormous amount of rain in Kalgoorlie, I don't think. Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
There's probably a lot of rain for Kalgoorlie.
The rains in Kalgoorlie. I don't know, Stella, is it my imagination or is Kalgoorlie a fairly dry place? I was always under the impression not much rain there.
Yeah, that's what I mean, but that's a lot of rain for Kalgoorlie.
Yes, to get 20 minutes worth of rain. All right, I'm going to rinse this and I'm going to use my other bit of bourbon to make another whiskey sour because I can.
Because it's not a school night.
It's not a school night, so I can do that. Put some rinse it.
And I'm just doing something on one of my other monitors.
Cool. What's on your other monitor?
Well, I've got so my main monitor is this like 35-inch 2K monitor. It's bloody huge.
Yeah.
But the one above it is I've got like Chrome with like Facebook and email and stuff. And I've got another one at like to the top right. Top right. And that I put like if I'm playing a game, I'll put like game information and game tools and stuff. If I'm streaming, I'll have some stream tools that I have like a timer app that displays a timer on the stream, or like Zoom, or what do you call it?
Yeah.
Skype.
Yeah.
Over there.
Wow.
If I'm streaming, I have OBS sitting at the monitor at the top, and the game I'm playing here in the main monitor. And I've got this this awesome. If I move that and share, do you mind if I share my screen for a bit?
If it lets you, go for it.
So if I got it might screen sharing's easiest with 2 minutes. Well, I have 3. Let's see which. It wants to know which screen.
Jeez,
and it's like okay. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work, but I've got this awesome.
Wait, no, it's there.
It's there? Okay.
Hang on. There we go. Add it to the stream. There you go.
So I've got this. This is my sound panel.
Yeah.
And I've got different channels, different apps going in different virtual cables, outputting to whatever stream or OBS view, and yeah, it's pretty great. This app. It's donationware if you're interested
Wow.
to get it. But yeah, I've got like 2 microphones going in here to these 2 channels at the you can't see my mouse, can you?
No, but I see it when you use them. Yeah.
Yeah. And they end up outputting along the A2 channel, which is over here, to cable B, which I can plug into OBS. So it doesn't pick up. So it only picks up my microphone and not the desktop, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And I've got So a lot of that going on.
Cool.
I'll just remove that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't do things in halves, and
No, that's pretty cool. I like that.
yeah, a lot of streamers use that. I've noticed.
Yeah, you're getting some rave reviews. Nobody says that's a complicated and spectacular. Please say you recognized BitComet in there. It says you go on old
BitComet. Oh yeah, BitComet. Because people saw all my desktop. If I am I still sharing it, or did I?
I can wait a sec. If you want to show something else, it's back there now.
Yeah. So this is an in-game. The desktop picture is an in-game screenshot of Elite Dangerous that I play. It's an epic space game. But yeah, I've got like OBS Studio, BitComet. What else? I've got like, see all my games and all the crap on my desktop. I did a Delphi programming stream with my favorite development environment the other day. That was fun. So yeah.
I like computers, and I've had one since I was 8, but like I don't really get much complicated stuff on it, so because I can never quite work out how to use it.
What do you think? All right, just finishing my drink.
Why is Delphi my favorite? That is a very good question. Delphi was written by a genius coder named Anders Hallsberg, who also wrote Turbo C and Turbo Pascal back in the 80s in DOS days.
Yeah.
And he moved that to Delphi, or everything he learned. And it's just, I find it, I trained with C++, but when I got my first job, it was in Delphi, and I just stuck to it. It was just a really awesome, feature-rich language that I got a lot out of. If you ask me what my favorite is today, it would be a toss-up between Delphi and C#. But C# is also written by Anders Hallsberg. He got poached by Microsoft to write C#. So
All right.
it's the same guy, wrote both languages, and they're both very similar.
You're an Anders stan. So.
I hope that answers the question.
I think it does.
I like the language.
Yeah.
Cheers for the mug.
Cheers. Here we go.
What is that one?
Cheers. There we go.
Henry, what is it?
A whiskey sour. So this is just the other little expensive bottle I was trying to use up. This is an 8-year-old bourbon. My God, these taste so good. Like whiskey sour is one of my favorite drinks. I'm definitely getting a more expensive bourbon because I got a more expensive rye, and rye whiskey is very good in a whiskey sour. And yeah, that was my first comparative taste test, like with a bourbon and rye and an expensive overproof rye, and I could tell the difference between them. And I was like, nobody just reckons the shaking motion of shaking a cocktail might look very suspicious from behind. It's like,
Try it.
so those guys who used,
I just got it.
those guys who used to go on chat roulette and they have no shirt on and they'd be doing this, and and people go to, and then they go and they're like wiping a dish dry.
For years and years and years. So I'm a big fan of punk rock, and I'm a big fan of Blink-182. And for years, I didn't get the reference in one of their albums called "Take Off Your Pants and Jacket."
And jacket, yes.
I was like years old when I discovered that's a pun on masturbation.
Yeah,
I just thought it was like a plane and.
Yeah,
a pair of pants and a jacket, and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just noticed in chat, Emma, you're Rena's daughter. Really nice to have you in here, Emma. Oh, Kirsten, you're asking what rye I have. I recently got Rittenhouse rye. I had just like some Wild Turkey rye, which I quite liked, and I did a direct comparison between the Wild Turkey and the Rittenhouse, and unsurprisingly, the Rittenhouse was noticeably better. So I'm learning my lessons. My assumption that the quality of the ingredients doesn't matter has taken a beating in recent weeks as I did direct comparisons. So,
Are
do you
you
mind if I
running
answer this question? Sorry, Kathleen.
Yeah.
Someone asked a question about programming languages.
yeah. Well, what's a good language for kids? Yeah.
A good language for kids, I would go with Python. It's very forgiving. It's language. It's not highly typed, so it's very forgiving on like what types of data you're using. It's a scripting language. Visual Basic is kind of an in-joke with programmers because it's everyone like shuns the VB programmer. It's okay. It's better than it used to be, but Python is free and it's a really great language to learn in, and a lot of people take it on into their development life as well.
Okay.
There are a lot of websites that Code Academy is a really great website for learning different languages as well. So for a kid, I would suggest Python.
Okay. Good tip. Yes, I'm told I could have been one of those people brought out of retirement because I knew COBOL. Because when I was at school, a couple of the lads were off learning COBOL and other machine languages, and I just decided, no, that's actually a bit much. I'm not going to do that. But I've now gone through several cycles of COBOL programmers coming out of retirement because of Y2K was the first one.
God, yeah, Y2K.
But apparently there's another one now. Yeah.
How just to answer this, VB is very visual, and so is Delphi. It's a good prototyping language. So if you're a visual learner, that's a really good thing to get started with. Python is good to learn the basics of programming, if that makes sense. So all your looping structures and all your syntax and learning how syntax works and your ifs and if-thens and while loops and all that. But yeah, VB has an inbuilt form designer so that you can like build an application on the fly, and it is really good for that. And if they're a visual learner, then I would recommend that. And you can put all that code in like button clicks and things like that. Sorry, Angry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's good. No, that is excellent stuff.
Yeah, Abigail, go ahead, give a programming lecture.
I've been programming since I was like 7, I think 6 or 7.
Wow.
So yeah, I taught myself on it was an Atari 2600 with the developer's kit.
Ooh.
And then we bought a Commodore 64 when they came out, and I taught myself machine code, assembly language. And then when I started high school, it was BASIC and C and Pascal. So
so you got into the
Java's pretty good too. The problem with Java is that it's highly typed. So if you're a beginner, you can get into trouble with variables not understanding each other and object calls here and there. Python is a lot more forgiving for that, but Java's a great like intermediate language to get into. But the thing with Java is that because it's it's platform agnostic, so you can deploy it on any platform. But the in joke is compile once, debug anywhere, because you're just forever debugging on all these platforms, and it can be a nightmare. And it's kind of slow. Funny story, when Java was really starting to take off, the Oracle, I think it was, went to Intel and asked if they could put a lot of the Java runtime calls native on the Intel chip so it would run faster. And Microsoft caught wind of this because they was writing a competitor for Java called .NET.
Yes.
And so Microsoft went with a big bag of money to Intel and said, could you not put all those Java instruction codes on the chip? And then they went a second time with another big bag of money. Could you put all the .NET code on the chip? And that is why .NET is king now. And Java sucks. So, I mean, it doesn't suck. It's just, it's notorious for being a bit bloaty and
bit buggy.
Can blame Microsoft for that. Yeah.
They used to do that shit all the time. Like, again, particularly in the 90s and the early noughties, if someone was in technology, they were terrified at the concept of Microsoft becoming interested in that technology because Microsoft...
They'll just buy it out. Yeah.
They had no concern about antitrust laws, and they would just do actual criminal behavior to shut out competitors.
Yeah, I know. And they have a bad name, Microsoft do, in the tech community. But, you know, they have some good products. One product I swear by is SQL Server, their premier database engine. Yeah. Absolutely bulletproof. The best code they beta test it for 2 years before they release it, and they beta test it in production sites like big banks where it cannot fail. and it's just one of their products that they just they nail it. And it's a shame they don't do it with all their products.
Well, yes, they're less stringent with some products.
Yeah. Well, they only make money out of 2 products, Office and Windows. Everything else is structured to break even. And so that's where they put their focus, Windows and Office.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
it's probably why it's
and
bundled.
they're both good products.
They're okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I use Windows, but I don't use Office. I use OpenOffice.
No. Hey, did you know that the term computer bug actually came from the first time that there was a fault in the computer? They actually found a bug in the computer.
Yes.
It was a moth had got into a mainframe, and because they were huge, scary things that had valves on them that were really off.
Yeah.
And when they were trying to find a fault, they found a fried moth in the circuit. And the guy actually filed a report and taped the moth to the report and said, I have found a bug in the system.
I mean, it's easier to explain than missing a semicolon somewhere in your code.
Yes.
I saw the comment by Stella there. So many semicolons go missing. I see them on milk cartons all the time.
It spirals out of control and they lose it. I read a story about that once.
Sorry?
That I think in the 60s or 70s, someone sent off a automated rocket, and when they programmed it, they either missed one dot or put one dot in, and it just spiraled out of control and crashed.
The story is the satellite. The code for the satellite was written in COBOL, and COBOL is like it's structured in a way where everything has its own column. So you have to have the right number of spaces in between each keyword. And if you miss one, it could mean a completely different thing in the language or just be a bug. And so, the story goes they missed a space and it went into space and had this buggy code and just spiraled out of control.
Well, NASA crashed one of their probes into Mars because they'd been doing distance calculations in imperial measurements and the software was in metric. And so they've been calculating inches that when the software wanted to tell them centimeters, and they plowed a probe into the surface of Mars. And the post-incident review was like, oh, look what we did there.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh.
They didn't crater on Mars.
It's a mistake to make if you don't double and triple check it.
Exactly. I mean, I saw a really good article years ago. The people who wrote code for the space shuttle, they were per line of code much more expensive than anyone else, but there could not be even the slightest error in their code ever, or a space shuttle would crash or blow up. And their method of doing it was fast. And also, they were also, the interesting thing is they were a fixed price contract with NASA, but their fixed price was twice what some people had bid. But these people proved their reliability, and they triple, quadruple, 5 times checked every line of code, and so they always delivered what they said. They always delivered it when they said.
And it's not just checking each individual line of code. It's checking like how the code interacts as well, and finding logic errors as well as like compile time errors. And it's just those things are really hard to check for. And the thing is, developers are really bad at testing.
Yes, they really are.
And so you need to get proper testers in because they have a different way of thinking.
Yes.
And it's like when you write a book, you have to have an editor because you kind of need that other person to look at what you're doing.
Yeah, and because I work as an analyst, so I'm not a programmer. But my big thing is working with both the business and the programmer. So, do we actually understand each other? Like,
Yeah.
hello, programmer, has this set of requirements made any sense to you? And hey, you in the business, do you understand what you're actually going to get delivered here? Don't go and bug the programmers and go, can you do a thing that does a thing? And the programmer says, of course I can. And then the programmer does the thing and then, ooh, could the font be bigger on that?
And often, like, programmers and business people speak different languages.
Absolutely.
Completely different. And not literally, of course. So you need someone to translate
my
that.
polite way of saying it is they need me in the middle because the business side very often doesn't understand technology very well at all, and often programmers don't understand humans at all. So
that's fair.
someone has to sort of bridge the gap. Sorry, just an Initiator saying hi in the chat. Hi, Initiator. How's it going?
Yeah, because the business side knows what they want done and how they want it to work, but they have no idea how to do it. So
yes.
Oh, it's not just that. Half the time they don't even know what they want.
No, they're very bad at expressing what they want.
And like they have a concept of what they want, but they, like, when you ask them about details, they have no idea. So you need someone to like run them through it, and that's why BAs are really good. And we appreciate your work.
Yes. And the idea is that I can understand both sides in theory. And I always have jokes with the developers and engineers, and when I'm talking to them about requirements, I go, hey, for the purposes of this discussion, I'm going to play the role of a dumb user who has no idea what's happening. So honestly, if I ask super dumb questions, I'm definitely playing a role and I'm not actually that dumb. Okay. Do we all believe me? Yes. I've been told I play the role of a dumb user convincingly well. So it's like,
So Stella makes a point about web pages. Client always wants yellow text on green backgrounds. I have a great story about this. I used to write software for quoting. It was software for salespeople to quote PABXs, and then, so it would configure the PABX and then spit out a price, basically. And each system had its own quirks and own cards, and it was all proprietary. But the director of the company one day saw a show on SBS about colors and psychology, and he got his take from it was, when you see green, you think of money. And so he wanted all the buy prices in this sickly green color on this screen. And it was just the worst. It looked like vomit, and it was awful. And it took me like 2 hours to explain to him with visual aids why we shouldn't do that.
Yeah. That's the boss in bloody Fight Club when they're in a presentation meeting, and after presentation, the boss just goes, "Can I get the buttons in cornflower blue?" Oh, dude, nobody's got to get up at 6:40 for church, going to bed. That makes it's 10 o'clock. Jesus, I'm going to go to bed. I'm not getting up at 6:40. But
that's harsh.
Yeah.
When I commute,
church if I ever heard one.
Yeah, when I commute, I have to get up at 6:15 and just go to get to work when I want. These days, we have an alarm set for 6:30, and then I can lie in bed for another half hour, and then I can take it really easy and still get work started when I want to. So
good night, nobody.
Night, nobody. In fact, we'll say good night to everybody because it's 10 o'clock.
Not a long one tonight.
I know I did run long last night, but I actually finished.
You're not a night person, are you?
Sometimes, like we were joking last night, my New Year's Eve stream went for 7 hours, but that was New Year's Eve, so
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, thanks for having me on the stream.
thank you for joining in. It's always fun to get people to join in on the stream, mix things up, and we can. This is our version of being social these days.
Yeah, I know, right? You know, I've been more social during the coronavirus than at any time. It's just ridiculous. I'm always inside on my computer.
Yeah,
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, I've done
Andrew
some-
Popper, good night from the original South Wales. Good night, all. Take care,
Bye.
and see you again soon. Hopefully,
night.
bye.
Bye.